Are we ready to debate this? Professor Vaidyanathan, following the black money trail for years, I disagree with him on several subjects. I've quarreled with him on many. But on this subject, I must say he has a level of knowledge which very few Indians have. Atul Kumar Anjan, back on the news are tonight, getting more aggressive than ever these days. KTS Tulsi, usually mild-mannered, on this subject he's not. He feels the BJP has an agenda. MR Venkatesh used to back the BJP before they came to power, is now losing hope in the BJP. Sambit Patra thinks he has the upper hand tonight. But my first question is to a person who usually his language is perfect. You can disagree with his point of view, but however, he doesn't get his terminology wrong. Legally, he's sharp. But tonight, I don't know why he used the word threat. He accused the BJP of threatening the Congress party. A threat, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, is a statement of an intention to inflict pain, to inflict injury, to inflict damage or carry out hostile action of someone in retribution for something. Now tell me, what kind of pain, injury, damage or hostile action is the BJP taking against you when Arun Jaitley leaves a broad hint that it might be a UPA minister? I mean, why are you feeling so nervous by using the word threat? Okay. You stand a little exposed tonight.
Arnab, let me quiet you down a little bit, at least sober you down a little bit by wishing you happy Diwali. And
I'm perfectly sober. Happy Diwali, Dr. Singhvi.
Secondly, for all the nice adjectives you looked up in a legal dictionary.
No, not legal dictionary, Oxford dictionary.
A very simple question. Let me. Can I just finish? You know, you got lot of people as usual and very little time for each. So let me.
A lot of time.
You know, a simple question. Where is the need, Arnab, for all this political titillation and sensationalism? Where is the need for the sphinx or the smile? The finance minister can say the name in 30 seconds.
No, he can't.
The finance minister or otherwise can leak the name in 45 seconds.
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Where is the need for saying all this? So therefore, that's the threat.
Oh, so you're asking the finance minister to leak the name?
Just a minute. No, 1 minute. I am answering your question. Please allow me to answer. I am simply saying, here is the Congress party saying, please reveal all the 800 names. Reveal the 136 names.
No, they can't.
Who is saying reveal and who is saying I'll do it at the appropriate time? One sec. You see, this is a diversionary tactic.
You just called it a threat, now you call it a diversion.
Video and this 15-month campaign, when Mr. Modi went on video and said, each of you should be very happy, raise your hands in the rally, you're going to get 15 lakhs per person into your bank accounts. Some people are saying we're waiting for our 15,000.
No.
Have you got back 15?
No, he's going to give the names of 50 people before the Supreme Court.
Don't divert by saying...
He's going to give the names of 50 people before the Supreme Court next week. He's going to give the names of 50 people before the Supreme Court next week.
At 5 months, as you and I talk...
No, but why didn't you? Because you realize... Dr. Singhvi.
Not a penny has come.
Dr. Singhvi.
Not a penny has come.
Dr. Singhvi, I think I take objection to 3 things. The first is that your suggestion that I'm not sober. Let me suggest to you, sir, strongly, I'm completely sober. I'm always sober on the news. Secondly,
it's a metaphorical, it's not a literal word,
I know,
for God's sake.
I also replied in humor. The second is, every single news our viewer remembers that your party and your Prime Minister went fire and brimstone against Vinod Rai because you thought he's leaking CAG reports. You're actually encouraging a finance minister to leak information. I am appalled at that. No, 1 second. I'm appalled at that. A third fact, and I won't quarrel with you anymore on the program. I'll let Sambit do that. The third I want to know, finger of suspicion will be on Congress because the BJP has ensured that almost all their MPs in the Lok Sabha and almost all their MPs in the Rajya Sabha have submitted their declaration saying we have no illegal money in foreign bank accounts or tax havens to the Speaker, but you haven't done that.
Then? Look,
but you haven't done that.
The finger of suspicion is on us.
Why don't you come clean?
The finger of suspicion is on us. The names are with the government.
But why don't you come clean?
Is with the government.
No, you had the names too.
Disclosure is by the government.
No.
Why should there be political titillation and sensationalism and diversionary tactics? Why not come out with the list?
I don't know.
Who is scared of coming out with the list?
Why didn't you come out with the list?
That's a simple
why
question.
Didn't you come out with the list?
Why don't you answer that?
No, but why don't you answer? Why didn't you come out with the list? You had the names. You had names of 800 people. No, 1 second. Okay, so Abhishek Manu Singhvi.
Put us in the government.
Fine,
and we'll do that.
You know, I think I have made the cardinal error of getting into a quarrel with you on the subject while I actually wanted to get others into the debate. So I'll get the others come into the debate. Opening the debate on the other side is Sambit Patra of the BJP, and by the way, for all the others, it's an open debate. I am only raising a point. 800 accounts under investigation till 150 days back were with the Congress government. Now if it emerges, if, an operational word is if it emerges that a Congress leader's name was among those people, and if the BJP government reveals that name, then the first question will be asked, what was the Manmohan Singh government doing? Were you protecting your own? Sambit Patra, your first response, and then the debate goes on.
Why?
See, just a second. I need not quarrel with the able lawyer on the panel today, that is Abhishek Manu Singhvi, because the case is already lost. Secondly, and very importantly, I would say, why is the Congress feeling threatened today? They are saying that we are threatening them. Why are they feeling threatened is the question. If they have committed no wrong, if they have no one of theirs of significance in the list, why are they feeling threatened? That they are feeling threatened, that their opening statement is Bharatiya Janata Party's government is threatening them, means that all is not well within the Congress, that the Congress has the fear of being caught red-handed, and that is the reason as to why they are feeling the threat well before the names are declared. Secondly, as far as 800 names are concerned, the finance minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley, has made it amply clear technically that names would be declared gradually in the due procedure of law, because the law allows that when a charge sheet is filed against the concerned person who holds an illegal account, let me emphasize on the word illegal account, in a safe haven, his or her name will be declared in the court of law. So I believe Congress should be waiting for the names to be declared.
Mr. Singhvi wants a quick counter, but I'll allow him. Quick one, sir.
Very briefly. Arnab, I have today, and I don't want to repeat, asked 8 simple questions in simple English and Hindi.
Yeah.
Please answer any of the panelists, including my esteemed friend Mr. Patra, to answer a single one of them. And the most important of them is that between May and now, what one significant extra step have you taken towards what you said? And the second and most important is that for 15 months you told this nation that we are going to get the money back and release the names. 15 months of election campaign. Did you get a single thing done? Why did you mislead the public for cheap votes?
Counter. Sambit, respond.
Mr. Pranab Mukherjee said almost the same thing. Mr. Jaitley is saying now. Mr. Jaitley got up in Parliament and Mr. Modi got up outside of Parliament and criticized him. Criticized Mr. Pranab Mukherjee.
Mr. Singhvi, my esteemed friend, has already lost the case on the News Hour court today. Those who have dug holes
you keep saying that
all
because
these
you are
years,
judge, jury and prosecutor all rolled into one. That's why you keep saying that.
I was not interrupting you, sir.
Jury and prosecutor,
I was not interrupting you, sir. You are my senior. I was not interrupting you. Please give me the entitlement of completing my answer. Those who dug holes for this country for 60 long years are asking us today, how many buckets of muds have you thrown into that hole? Almost akin to that how many pennies have been brought back to India? Let me remind you, Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, for 4 long years you dodged the Supreme Court in spite of being repeatedly reprimanded by it for the formation of SIT. The first job that this government did was formation of SIT. We talked to the Switzerland authorities and we have formed a committee. Switzerland today agrees to the fact.
Don't give me your procedural. Don't give me your procedural. Don't give me your standard procedural line. Don't give me your standard procedural line.
These are what we have done.
Don't give me your standard procedural line. Don't give me your standard procedural line, please, Sambit Patra. The limits of logic in your argument must also be countered. But however, look how big the heinous crime will be. Professor Vaidyanathan, Atul Kumar Anjan, M.R. Venkatesh, KTS Tulsi, all experts on the subject. I don't know why they are quiet. Feel free to come in. Don't be shy. My question is, imagine how big, M.R. Venkatesh at least smiles nowadays. Imagine how big the crime would be if the same government that delayed action on Raja, that protected the Marans, that gave a long leash to a person called Suresh Kalmadi, is now found M.R. Venkatesh to have withheld action against one of their own and allowed that person to continue in the Manmohan Singh Council of Ministers. If there is any shred of truth in this, M.R. Venkatesh, I mean, look at the ethical angle to this. Yes, please.
That would be disastrous, Arnav, because if that were true, if there were a minister in the union cabinet and if it were in the know of the prime minister and the then finance minister.
How would it not be in the know of the
cabinet
finance
colleague was
minister or the
indeed
then
having-
prime minister? They would know, obviously, if they had the list with them.
It should be. It obviously they should be knowing it. And
My
if
God.
they knew about it and they were sitting on it, this is something like abetting the crime post the crime, and they are definitely abettors to the crime. It's a very disastrous situation that this country is facing, and I am sure that given the ethical level of Mr. Manmohan Singh, this should not have happened.
No,
but had this happened, I think the government of the day should also try to book Mr. Manmohan Singh on
If this is
issue.
true-
Because this is a very serious charge.
But Manmohan
If
Singh
this
was
is
no
true-
prime
if
minister.
this is
He was
true-
a shadow prime minister.
No, no. Then who? Then who, Sambit Patra? If
The
this
real
is-
prime minister should be held accountable.
You know, if this is true, and I always emphasize the fact, if this is true, and we know KTS Tulsi, I know why you are quiet today, because you know you actually agree with me on this. But you don't want to reveal that on the News Hour tonight. If this is true, KTS Tulsi, and the Congress used their last day in office to attempt to stymie up setting up of a probe panel by filing a petition seeking review of the government's decision to set up an SIT. Can you put two and two together? Simply put, KTS Tulsi, you know there's one of your own, you know you might be exposed,
No.
and you lose your last day in office to stymie the setting up of an
I
SIT. It's huge.
Can I
Yes,
reply?
yes, please.
You see, my answer is that whether there is one minister or two ministers or 20 ministers, whether they are from Congress or from BJP or any other party, they must be dealt with sternly, speedily, and in accordance with law, given the maximum punishment. There is no doubt about that. The question really is that whatever information, whatever the government was saying at that time, the UPA government, to the Supreme Court that we cannot reveal, and the Supreme Court itself, after looking at the list, realized that no, they cannot be made public. And the UPA government,
What if this
to my
government?
mind,
No, if
was
this
not
government
remiss.
puts forth the name of 50 people against whom the charges can be followed up, that argument doesn't hold. Does it? Does it, Professor?
No. This government must act, must not only
No,
talk.
of course they should act. That's a
because
given.
Really, why are we
No, but
beating
that's a
around the
given.
bush?
No, but that's a
Why
given.
are we beating around the bush?
No, we're not beating around the bush. I'm saying
The
it's a
court
given.
has
I'm
to
only saying
decide-
today, even the thought.
The court
No,
has to
sir.
decide. Let them place the material before the court.
Sir, of course
Let
they
them place the
should.
material before the court
Sir, of
and
course
let the
they
court
should.
award punishment.
No, of course they should. But what I'm
Neither
only
the
saying,
media can award punishment,
Sir-
nor politicians can award
sir,
punishment.
that is not the point that I'm making. Is that if there is a politician who served in the previous government while the government knew that the person had a Swiss bank account and allowed that person to continue in the government, Atul Kumar Anjan, I see you nodding there, please come in, allowed that person to
Arnab,
if that were to be the case,
you are missing.
who are we going to,
You are
who's
missing the
responsible?
point. The finance minister today in his interview with you
No.
himself said that we will have to examine.
No,
and only when illegality is
Sir,
found,
my-
then we
the
will file a
finance
case.
minister-
He doesn't say that they will file a case against everybody.
The finance minister throws a broad hint. He's asked a question and he does not reject it. He's asked a clear question. Whether the person who's a black money account holder, because he's already said if we reveal the names, the Congress will be embarrassed. Hasn't he said that? In response to that, Abhishek Manu Singhvi started complaining today about a threat. You see, Abhishek Manu Singhvi is batting defensively tonight. Isn't he? Isn't he, Professor? Professor, isn't the Congress spokesperson batting defensively in your view?
I think you are asking me, right?
Yeah, I'm asking you, Professor. There's only one professor on the program tonight.
Yeah. I hope so. This whole thing is a bit, the behavior of both UPA and NDA is a bit puzzling to me. This data is of account holders in Liechtenstein. Let's be very clear about it. the German intelligence agency stole the data in 2008. This data mostly pertains to 2003, 2006 or maybe 2007. The German intelligence agency stole the data and Liechtenstein was very unhappy about it. And they actually published the names of German citizens, and they had remaining names. They offered it free. Let me stress that point. They offered it free to anyone who wants to, any sovereign country, because when I wrote, they told we can't give it to you. You are a professor. Now the point is, the money is held by Indian citizens in Liechtenstein Bank, stolen by Germany and offered to us. There is no crime committed by Indian citizens in Germany or German citizens in India. To start with, the information the UPA government was not willing to ask for at all. After substantial pressure from then leader of opposition, Advani, and so many others,
Yes.
they asked this
That's
information.
true, that's
Now,
true.
Why did they ask it under why did they ask under double taxation treaty? This is my first question. Because it has got nothing to do with Indian citizens in Germany or German citizens in India. Now, second is, why did the current government continue to operate under the DTA, which is not applicable in this case at all? Simply write a letter to Germany, we made a mistake. It shouldn't come under DTA. Second point, this is not just tax evasion. Arnab, I am telling you, this is very, very critical. Because all this money is assumed to be only tax evaded money, which is not true. There is a huge amount of corruption which is there. There is a huge amount of money laundering, huge amount of drug peddling, huge amount of gun running. Hundreds of things are associated. Not all of them are fully covered with double taxation. This whole, what one can call the stress on this double taxation, try to minimize the issue. Third point, that after the cases are filed, that means you are giving the hope to people to settle it using the settlement commission method. That is, I have kept something like 100 crore. Okay, the income tax department will say pay 150 crore, I pay, or 70 crore, I paid. Then nothing. The name is not supposed to come out. Fourth is, average people's name, if it comes out, it doesn't matter at all. People will read it, and then if there are eminent people, could be sports people, could be media people, could be film people. Let's not think only in terms of politicians.
Sure.
Then there is a large amount of interest. Last point I want to tell you, Arnab, as a alert or caution or enthusiasm for you. In the next 3-4 years, you might be holding 1 or 2 day discussion on this black money, because something like 50 to 75,000 names will come out.
You see, Professor raises a very important point, and I really think someone should clarify it, right? M.R. Venkatesh, do you think Abhishek Manu should clarify it? Why they looked of this whole case under the double taxation agreement in the first place when it may not apply? I think that's the most pertinent agreement, pertinent point here.
Exactly. See, what happens is DTAA is between German resident getting some income in India,
right,
or Indian resident getting income in Germany.
Precisely.
But this is a case where, as Professor pointed out, Germans got it itself stolen. It was not an income derived in India or in Germany, and so DTAA of Germany does not apply at all. It was some Babu Dam who has probably done it, or some sinister motive that brought this DTAA in the first place. As a chartered accountant, I am appalled that this theory of DTAA is put. And as Professor rightly pointed out, this whole game, I'm still not sure under which law is the names going to be revealed. Is it going to be under the income tax? If it is under the income tax, let me tell you, I will first get a notice and I will go to the income tax officer and start the proceedings, or go to the settlement commission, which is popularly called a settlement by commission, and you pay that to the people there and finish your case, and that is an in-camera proceeding. Nobody is going to come to know whether Arnab Goswami had a Liechtenstein account or Venkatesh had a Liechtenstein account and settled it in the settlement commission. So consequently, nobody is going to know this name. If and only if it comes back to the department, you pay the penalty, and then you are prosecuted under the Income Tax Act, these names comes up, which I think if the former Chief Minister's case, as it was discussed in Tamil Nadu, only 5 or 6 people have ever been prosecuted in Tamil Nadu under the Income Tax Act. So Income Tax Act prosecution is more of a deterrence and never in the day-to-day life.
I emphasize this point again. Logically speaking, the Congress should also answer another question, Atul Kumar Ranjan. They are now saying, reveal all the 800 names. But not too long back, Abhishek Manu Singhvi doesn't explain that not too long back, he himself was arguing, and I don't know how Abhishek Manu Singhvi forgets this. He himself was arguing. The thing with lawyers is they can change their position depending on the circumstances and put a very compelling argument, and in some cases convince themselves that the argument they are holding today is right, the argument they put yesterday was wrong. I don't know then what argument they'll put day after. The question is, till recently Abhishek Manu Singhvi was arguing that the disclosure of the names that the Supreme Court had asked for will violate confidentiality clauses in international protocol. Today, therefore, what is this? Political football, Atul Kumar Ranjan? Just political football to fool the people of this country?
Arnavji, I belong to a party called Communist Party of India.
I am aware of that.
No name, whether it is 136 people's name, or whether it is 800 people's name, or whether it is 70,000 people's name will be revealed. Those who are having a foreign account, no name of the CPI or any Communist Party or any left leader's name will not be there. So it should be very categorically clear.
Don't be too hasty, Atul Kumar Ranjan.
The question.
I want you to be very careful, Atul Kumar Ranjan.
Professor, you are not taking a class. Please, professor.
No, he's telling you to be careful.
You are not in a classroom. Please listen. Listen. You may be having accounts. We don't have the account. We don't have accounts. We say very authentically. I am saying it very authentically. I was listening you. You should have a patience to listen me. You should have a patience to listen me.
No, I just wanted to tell you, do not be very
you are the final authority, nor I am the final authority. If there is something wrong...
He's saying there are accounts in Moscow also.
As I am claiming.
He's saying there are accounts in Moscow also.
Moscow... those days have gone, 30 years have passed.
So what? 30 years? No, 1 minute. What do you mean? You can have Moscow accounts?
This professor is living in the past. This professor is living in the past. Has nothing to do with the reality.
No, so anyway, Moscow accounts are allowed.
The professor used to teach with the old notes. As the professor used to teach with the old notes, he is having with the old notes. No new notes. So I just want to tell another point, that when Mr. Narendra Modi came to power,